Yes, we are live. Today's date is April 12th, 2023. TJ Jackson with Francis Jackson here
Hi,
on
guys.
another Family Rules Live, coming to you straight live and direct from Southern California. I think it's been a while since we've done, no, we did one in Dallas last week. Yeah, it was just last week when we did
Did
one in
we?
Dallas. Yes. I don't know why it felt longer, but you know what it is? It's because I was out of town in Nashville,
We
and it's
didn't
been
do
a
one
while
that week.
since doing it here, so it's been feeling different. But so good seeing everyone. Did anyone see? Oh, Kayla wants to go right at it. Did anyone see the Mario movie? Francis, did you see the Mario
We
movie?
saw the Mario movie with my Texas family, some
Um,
of the
what
cousins.
did you think about the Mario
I
movie?
liked it. It was cute.
It was cute, right? It was
Yeah.
for kids. I think if you're trying to find an Oscar-winning movie, that may not be the movie for you. You may want to go see Air instead. I haven't seen that one yet either. The Michael Jordan biopic, which I'm looking. Well, it's not really a biopic. It's just about the story of Nike and Air Jordans, and that looks really good,
That one does look good.
with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. So that's one
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to see. Haven't seen it yet. I'm seeing it tonight, hopefully. And then, but Mario is a kids movie, and I thought it was fun for kids. It's colorful, it's cute, and it seems like all the kids we took really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's the answer, right, Kayla? All right, Francis.
Yeah. And
And
Caleb.
before you accuse me, her name is Kayla Francis. It's Kayla
Oh, Caleb.
Creation. So there we go. Carol wants to know how. Hi everyone. How is Choo Choo? How is Choo Choo Train? How's Choo Choo doing?
Choo Choo's great. I think he missed TJ the most,
Well, it had been 3 weeks since I
but
seen.
you also spoil him, which
Mm-hmm.
is very hard for me because then Chewy doesn't listen to me.
Chewy's doing very well, Carol.
He
Chewy's
couldn't
a happy
wait.
dog.
You know what? The kids said it many times while we were in Texas how much they missed Choo Choo.
Yeah, which is a
They
beautiful
missed him
thing.
a lot.
It's always so good seeing everyone. We have Kalia, who's a member, and talking about memberships.
Hey,
Um,
Kalia.
we dropped for Unite out there. We dropped a very cool bonus content video in Sacramento from our time in Sacramento. Francis, have you even seen that
Nope.
vlog yet? She hasn't seen it, but she is in it. Maybe we can share some of it so you guys could see it. And the reason why I want to share it is because a lot of times people ask about our memberships and what the join button and what does it mean and what do you get? Well, you get extra vlogs and extra content. So even though Sunday we didn't release a new vlog or go live, we did release a new vlog for our night members, and it's just was basically about our trip in Sacramento. A lot of fun stuff. There's me vlogging.
Is it Sacramento / Tahoe
Yeah, I just
or
labeled it Sacramento. This was cool because in Sacramento, I guess in downtown, they just ride around playing like 90s hip hop, like lowrider stuff. And
it was
there
about 100 bikes, right?
it was a lot. It was a lot. See, they got all different types of bikes
They
that
just kept coming.
all boys, girls, men, women.
Kids, yeah.
It was a really cool thing, and they have their speakers going, so they're playing it. But yeah, so I just wanted to make sure a lot of you who are always asking, what do you get as a night member? There you go. You get some bonus content. It's not going to be the same type of vlog edited by the one and only Omizzle, because I usually do these bonus content vlogs, so the editing's a little bit cheesier. But it shows our trip to wherever we go, and there's gonna be another one coming out this weekend for our trip to Dallas we just got back home from. So
That was so much fun.
that was a good opportunity to talk about our membership and especially nights. One more thing for you bros and queens who are bras and queens who are on some people are like, but what do we get? Da, 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 da. On the weekends, we usually go live. What are you looking at?
They're out there squabbing and Chewy. Okay, are they getting a little too rough? You think?
No, they're dogs. That's what dogs
But
do.
Chewy's now like putting
Okay.
Coda's head down with his paw.
So,
It's funny.
Coda is here. Coda is Lexi and Lee's dog. Coda is here with us, and they've become really good friends. And sometimes they play fight, which is what they're doing right now. But anyways, Wait, what was I saying?
I don't know.
Diana says, "Wow, TJ, you're getting good at this live technology." Kind of. Todia's helping me, so she's the one who put that screen on, so I can't take all the credit. But what was I saying? Oh, bros and queens. I am doing. Someone gave us the great idea of doing a daily vlog, mini daily vlogs, and I am starting on May 1st. I'm not going to give out details of what that daily vlogging will be, but on May 1st, you're going to start seeing daily vlogs for at least 31 days. Right, Francis?
Yeah.
What are you looking at? You're still
I
looking
got
at
to
them?
stop them because I feel like they're getting a little too rough.
They're just playing. They're just playing. You haven't even heard a bark. Look, Terry says Sacramento is my hometown. You know what's so
Really?
crazy too?
It was cool. It was a cool spot.
It was a very cool spot. Terry, when we were out there, they were playing my Spurs. And yeah, I talked a bit about that. If I knew, I should have probably went to the game, but we went skiing instead. That's what happens when you have family and kids. You come second, sometimes last. But I'm not complaining. It just sounds like I am. We went skiing and had a good time. And one of my main goals for that trip was for all the kids to get a little bit better at skiing. And I think.
Do you think we did?
I think
I don't know. I think I got a little.
I
Tahoe wasn't bad.
I think
It was Mountain High that was.
Yeah, but
Tahoe was fine.
yeah, it's just experience. It's like everything. The more you do it, the better you'll get.
Yeah.
We have a super chat from Bommy who says,
Bommy!
"Hi, Queen Franny and King Foofy. I'd like to offer my services to recommend merch to buy. What with the discount code in? Y'all can DM me and ask. I probably bought everything. Love you both."
Oh, love you more, Bommy.
Well, Bommy, we love you too. And so you guys know what Bommy is referring to. Hopefully you all are subscribed to my newsletter, but if not, I sent out a newsletter about 2 hours ago, maybe 3 hours ago, and it had a 25% off my merch store discount code. And here's the thing that I didn't mention in the newsletter is that 25% off code actually works for Family Rules merch too. So if you've always wanted a Family Rules hoodie or a Family Rules shirt or anything like that, you can get 25% off right now with that special code. What was the special code again? I actually forgot what it was. I do know it expires on April 17th. Hopefully someone will post the special code and we'll just share it here for the family rulers out there. Bommy, thank you so much for the super chat. Kamari says, "What up, TJ and Francis?"
Hey, guys.
What up, Kamari? Quentin says, "Hey,
up,
Jizzle.
Quentin?
Hi, Beauty Franny.
How are you?
We miss you, Quentin. I hope you are well, man. I've been following you on Instagram and seeing all the cool stuff you have.
Yeah, you got a lot
Mostly
of,
of my uncle's incredible stuff you are collecting. Very, very, very cool stuff. There is the promo code, by the way, friends and fans 25, and is an no, what is that called?
That's not an
ampersand, something like that.
I haven't even heard of that, so I have no idea.
Can someone help me out with that? We like to learn here. Friends, that's the and sign, but it's ampersand, I think it's called. Anyways, friends, fans, 25. That's the promo code if you want 25% off. Again, it ends April 17th, which I believe is a Monday. But make sure on that. And there you go. Everything off my merch store. Not off my website, but off the merch store with that code. Okay, we have another super chat. There we go. Ampersand. All right, Chris. I was close. Thank you, Chris. Ampersand. That's something that I didn't think I would say today, but that is the...
Did you think you would ever say that? I always say the and sign.
Yeah, but the and sign is, there's an actual name for it. And
ampersand.
What did I say? Ampersand or ampersand? I knew it was something like that.
Something like that. You were close, honey.
You
did good.
Thank you.
You did good.
Thank you. That means a lot coming from you. You know, everybody needs to hear words of encouragement. It's one of the 5 love languages.
Listen to your words, babe. That is very important.
Everybody here, honey, you got to scoot in a bit. You seem so far away, and there's so much distance.
You seem so close up.
Well, I can't go back.
You don't feel you feel more comfortable like this?
Yes. Well, no, I have to.
It's not as comfortable to me.
Okay. We have Dion with the super chat. Dion says, "Hello, handsome and gorgeous. I want to say that I adore you as a Grammy Award worthy. For the video to the song, you should have my girl in it. How's your mother doing, Franny J? Have you heard from Rhea, TJ? Love you too lots. So
Oh, we love you more, Dion.
we love you too,
Thank you for that
Dion.
super chat.
We're gonna go one by one. You mentioned this in the studio session, and David and I always smile when we think about you and this beautiful compliment. It was very nice to say. We work really hard with our music. We try to make music that's going to be accepted and appreciated from everyone, not only today, but in 5 years, and 10 years, and 20 years. We want to try to make the best music we can. So hearing this as a compliment means a lot to us. We're both very proud of I Adore You. So thank you so much for that, Dion. As for the video, you should have my girl in it. Franny, what do you say? You want to be in the video?
I say that would be
Which,
lovely.
Which one of my songs would you want to be in? Which video?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm video material.
Why not?
I don't know if I could take it serious.
You couldn't take it serious?
No, I don't know if I'd laugh the whole time. It would be uncomfortable.
Why?
Because it just would.
What if it's just Omizzle shooting it and no one else?
I mean, he's a great director. I would consider it. How about that?
All right.
But probably not for I Adore You.
Which song?
I don't know. There's some good ones.
Some that haven't came out that
yeah,
you
some
do?
that haven't come out, and that if I don't want it tainted by a hot, steamy,
here we go.
sexy video.
Here we go. Maybe I shouldn't have asked that question, but here's another question for Dion. She wants to know how your mom's doing.
My mom is doing very well. She looked good, huh?
She looked great. She looked happy. And what was so cool is this was our first time going to Texas for Easter Sunday in probably 10 years.
Maybe even longer. Because we've always gone to Auntie Lourdes's.
Maybe even longer.
I don't think Dee Dee and Joe have been there for Easter before.
I'm not even sure. Have the other kids?
Royal, we lived in Dallas at one point, and Royal was probably 2.
Well,
when we met.
The moral of that story is it was just a really good vibe and a good thing to get out and go to the other side of the family for Easter. It was, we usually would go for the winter holidays, whether it was Thanksgiving or Christmas or the New Year. But this year we went out there. We missed those dates. I forgot why we couldn't go during those times. I think it was sickness or illness, but we wanted to go back to Dallas, so we decided to go on Easter break during the kids' spring break, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of memories were made, and what I liked I always think it's important for Frances to be around her sisters and not let too much time go because we're all getting older and life is precious. So we gotta enjoy every moment we can with the sisters, and
they're a lot of fun.
They're a lot of fun.
They're a lot of fun.
And it was good for like we were saying, it was good for her to see her family and her kids and grandkids. So I think it was a really successful trip.
I agree.
And then finally, have I heard from Rhea? Dion, I have not. And this has been something that's been tough for a lot of us. I think it's been about a month that we've heard from Rhea, and she's usually a very active member of the community. And what worries me is, we've all been DMing and texting her and we haven't heard anything. So all we can do at this point is pray and just keep her, on our minds and send her love and good vibes and hope she responds and hope she's just taking a break from social media. So that's it. But I think about her every day, hoping we'll get a response from Rhea very, very soon. Dee's Tiny Kitchen, Francis, wants to know if we have any bad habits.
Probably. I would say mine is probably wine. Is that a bad habit? I like it.
I don't think that's that bad of a habit.
I think it can be.
Well, not the way you do it. You drink it 1 glass max.
Sometimes I don't even finish the glass. Toria knows it. I like half of it's water, half of it's wine because I like it watered down.
Do you really?
Yeah, because I don't like it as strong. The white wine, anyway.
I
like it when it's half and half.
Oh, you know why they're barking? Because they're cutting cheese around. Oh, okay.
It's okay.
Bad habit. I bite my fingernails sometimes. That's a pretty bad habit.
But you don't do it often.
Well, I don't do it often because I bite it and then there's nothing to bite.
JoJo bites her nails as well, and she has your exact hands and fingers and fingernails.
Really?
She's got big hands.
Like grandma and my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then another bad habit. I'm just not the best with time management.
Oh,
I don't know if that would be considered a bad habit. Is that a bad habit?
That is an awful habit that drives me nuts.
So
he's just like on TJ time. He's just like, you're chill. You're on chill mode. You're like, what's the big deal? Gonna be a little late. And for me, I don't like to be late. I really don't.
Well, it depends what it's for. Like for classes, I do not like to be late, and I've been late to my yoga classes.
But what about the kids? They're always in the car and waiting on you. Always.
That's okay. They need patience. In today's time,
they need to get to class.
Well, they do get to class. That's another thing. You know, I've noticed, like when you drop off kids. Look, when I was going to high school, when I was going to school, and the bell was about to ring, everybody was running in. Today,
they walk in.
They walk. They don't care if they're going to be
on
late.
Their phones. They're just
chilling. And I tell, look, if you are late, you run. You do not stroll in. You run your butt off to show, first to try to make it, but to show that you actually care. And here's the thing. I'm late often, but I actually do that. It's not like I stroll in and I'm very respectful. It's just an issue I have. I don't know if it would be considered a bad habit. It's more of a bad issue.
It's a bad habit.
Here we go. Okay, Kiani. I love that name. Kiana Marie has a super chat. Says, can't wait to move out of Philly. It's so dangerous.
Oh, wow.
Kiana, you know what's sad? I feel like so many cities here in the US is getting this way. You know, it seems like there's shootings every other day, and those there's shootings every day, sadly. But the sad part is, it's like there could be a shooting in one of our major cities, and we may not even know about it because it happens so often. It's not even a big deal anymore. Just 2 days ago, there was a shooting in Louisiana in a bank where 5 people died, were killed. And
an officer was shot in the head as well.
So, and that's another thing. We always talk about those that were killed or dead, but what about those that are paralyzed or in critical conditions and their lives will never be the same? And, you know, I understand we live in a time where news spreads so quickly. So it's, you know, it may feel like, you know, more things are happening, but in reality, more things are happening. I mean, I don't ever think there was a time where there was a shooting, especially like a mass shooting in a public place every day.
I feel like it's more dangerous for sure. And there's definitely more shootings. And we find out like right when it happens.
But I feel like a shooting in a bank would have been something that happens once a year, you know? And I feel like...
And he was an ex-employee of the bank.
It's like you never know where it could be. It could be a movie theater, it could be a school, it could be a bank, it could be a church, it could be a gym. And it's really sad because the truth of the matter is the likelihood of it personally affecting us is quite low. But that doesn't, like I said, it doesn't make it okay. That doesn't mean you have to have enough empathy to be worried about those that does affect. It does
Well,
hurt.
It affects many.
But go ahead, honey. What are you saying?
I get scared to even drive on the freeway.
For shooting?
Yes.
Oh, honey, come on.
I do.
It does happen.
It happens more than you think.
Yes.
You don't know about it and you don't hear about it.
Look.
It happens more than you think. And I think that was because 1 year, it wasn't even a year. It was like in a span of like 3 months, it happened like 5 times.
Well, there was a guy who was just driving around killing people driving. And he killed a good 4 or 5 people on different occasions doing this. And I guess he finally got caught. I don't remember how that ended. But the whole point of this, as you know, Kiani, is it seems like everything's getting crazy. So we got to stay vigilant, and we got to do what we can to push for change. And it's not just the politicians, and it's not just gun laws. It's also mental health and making sure we're getting everyone help. because obviously there's something going wrong when people turn into these type of shooters where they're just shooting random people, innocent people.
Yeah.
It's not targeted to a certain person. It's just random people.
There has to be some kind of issue within.
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary and sad. Another super chat from Michael Jackson fan says, "Hello, TJ. Are you excited for the new biopic about your Uncle Michael? And what do you hope or want them to show in the biopic?" Am I saying that right? Is it biopic? Anyways, I am excited about it. I am very excited really for Jafar. I think he's going to be amazing. I'm very proud of him. And I don't want to go too far with it, but I'm excited for him to show the world what he can do and his amazing talent. As far as what do I hope they show, I hope it's a true reflection of not just my uncle, but of my family. Because oftentimes, every story needs a protagonist or some, evil person or some conflict. And a lot of times I feel like my family they have to be that person, and that's a little bit of a concern for me. But that's with any project and anything, not just the picture. With all that said, the man in charge is the only person I think I'd want to be in charge. I think he's an amazing person, and that's Graham King. I didn't know him prior to this project, but in just speaking with him and connecting with him, I really respect him, and I think he's going to do an amazing job, just like he did with the Queen biopicture. I think that was an amazing film, and I think a lot of times people, this is their only introduction. As crazy as it sounds, this is going to be their introduction to my uncle, and
Was he involved in the Whitney Houston one too?
I don't think he was, but I think the people who wrote,
the director, maybe
the writers. I did see that because Francis watched that on the way home. Did you like that one, Francis?
I did.
Yeah. Was it sad or what?
It was sad. Of course it's sad, but I don't know.
Yeah. So
it's hard to watch that kind of stuff.
Because a lot of people don't like biopictures, and I understand why. I'm not going to say I disagree, but at the same time, if they're done right, I think they could be a good thing. I think it could tell the story. I always loved the Jackie Robinson one.
Oh, that was really
with
good.
Chadwick Boseman. Boswick?
I thought it was
Boseman?
You just confused me.
I just confused myself. Anyways, that guy was so talented. Not just Black Panthers, but he played Jackie Robinson and
great.
He played James Brown.
He was great.
And he did great in both. So that's an amazing talent. But also Ray, Jamie Foxx was unbelievable in that. Boseman. Thank you, Christy. It's funny because it's like, how could you call him Chadwick Bosewick? But when you go live and your mind is everywhere, sometimes things.
It's Chadwick. Yeah, I think it's the wick at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, again, here's the promo code Friends and Fans 25 if you're coming in late on our merch store. Do we have a link in the description? We'll add the link in the description since we're talking about it. Use that code to get 25% off all the Family Rules merch, but also all the TJ Jackson merch. That is not on my website. That's at my merch store. So again, click the link and you'll see a bunch of stuff and you can go from there. Okay, this is from Nella. Will you read this?
Yeah, Nella says, "Hi TJ and Franny. I was in Sweden and Denmark last weekend and I saw a lot of great places. It was so much fun. And by the way, I love your new music, TJ. Sending you guys lots of love and sending you so much back, Nella." That's cool though. I do want to go there and like spend maybe like a good 4 days.
There's so many wonderful places, especially in Europe. I think all over the world. I
want to see the culture, like what, the babies. That's what I hear about. The stroller sitting outside and the baby's sleeping and the parents are inside the cafe.
It's beautiful.
I want to witness those kind of things.
Sweden, Denmark are also two more places that I've been to several times, but never really got to enjoy. Belgium was on that list. And then last summer, I was able to really, what did we do? 5 days in Belgium? In Brussels. Yeah. And that's the way to do it. When you could spend a good amount of time in a new country, that's when you really get the value of it. And that's something I want to do in both Sweden and Denmark. So I'm confident with Sweden. because that's where David is from. I feel one way or another we're gonna get there. Denmark, I got to make sure I put the effort in. But both are amazing countries. One of the two of the happier countries, and beautiful people, beautiful places, and just a great place. So I hope you enjoyed it, Nella. And thanks for the compliment on my new music video. Yeah, I'm gonna actually start pushing it, you guys. So you're gonna start seeing it, clips and stuff on my social media. But I've been very quiet about it for a different reason that I'm not gonna talk about just now because it'll take me forever. By the way, Jack Love wants to know, are those side emojis new? I just noticed it. Well, Jack Love, you hit another perk of becoming a member. All member levels, whether you're a bruh, a queen, or a knight, you get these side emojis that you could put. You can put on, I believe, all YouTube channels, but don't quote me on that, but at the very least, the family rules. You can always add it in your comments, in your live chats, and these things you can add it. And then on a side note, you also get a badge. You get a badge which denotes how long you've been a member. So all members at least get one badge, and then you can continue to accumulate. Yes, you get different badges as you stay longer, something like that. Kiani says, by the way, Francis, you guys inspire me to be a better parent.
Thank you for that, Kiani.
That's cool.
We're okay. We're making it like everybody else.
Yeah, look, parenting ain't easy.
No, it's not.
It's not easy. But what would you say, Francis? What would be the one thing that, and it's not just to be a good parent, to become a better parent? What's the one thing you think? So basically, I'm asking, people usually know, or at least if you're trying to be a good parent, you have an idea what it takes to be a good parent. What would you say the one little detail you would suggest to become even a better parent that we may not be thinking
it's actually two things that I've learned over the years, and it's been many years, because I don't feel like I didn't have these two as much when I was younger. But I would say patience and to lead with love. Because when you put those two together, you're not going to get, the anger doesn't come and things that you regret saying, and just be patient because it's not easy. It's really not. And none of us are perfect.
And I would just add, my question or my add on to that is, times change from, what we thought was great parenting. Times change. I'm not saying it's still not great parenting, but the point I'm trying to make is times change, and they're changing faster and faster. So just be easy on your kids. As Dee Dee eloquently said, kids will go through things, and right? Didn't she say that?
She basically kept saying that kids want structure and need structure. And I think she's definitely right about that. I feel like a lot of times us parents were like, we don't want to say no, or, we feel like it hurts us to tell them no. But I think that's so important. But don't do it just because. But they don't need to, get a yes every single time they ask for something.
That's important. It's important to say no.
Yes,
it's important to say no. And because a lot of parents, I think, sometimes say yes too much. And then when they get in the real world and they hear no's, or they fail, or they don't get the job, or don't get the audition, whatever it is.
Okay. Do I need to go?
Yeah, you should go out there. I thought that wasn't going to happen.
It's not supposed to.
Anyways, sorry, I lost my train of thoughts. The dogs were doing stuff that they weren't supposed to be doing. Dang it, I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry about that. But as Georgina says, spend more time with your kids and learn to understand them too. Very important. It goes so fast. And that's something that I still need to improve on and get better at, is really enjoying every single day and every single age of the kids, because it goes fast. I mean, Rio's 8 years old, and he's starting to be like a young little boy, or like a preteen. It's getting scary already. So it's interesting.
It does go fast.
By the way, talking about you being in a music video, you said you'd be laughing all the time.
Yeah.
Elena says Franny laughing through the whole experience could be the video. There you go.
Could be.
and Ben says if Francis laughed all the time in a TJ video, that would be completely natural, as Lisa Marisa Presley did the same in MJ's You Are Not Alone when they were married. So there you go. You can laugh. Nothing wrong with laughing, Francis.
Yeah, I would be laughing.
And we talked about being late, right? This is a good quote. And I'm sorry, I'm always late on adding these, but we talked about being late. And there's an important thing that we forgot to mention that we should have mentioned. And L, XNC, FKA, Sexy Ellie, Sexy LX. FKA means famously known as, right? I think so. Anyway, she reminds us of an important thing to know for those of us who are always being late. And that is, being late is a sign of not respecting the other party's time. She's right. And that is something I do think about every time I'm late for something that's one-on-one. For a class, I don't really think about this. I don't know why. It's not cool to do. Like sometimes,
especially you can't do that in a yoga class. You should not be walking in late. You should not be walking in late. And I feel like 9 times out of 10, you're walking in late because you're telling yourself, I got to go 10 minutes before you're supposed to go. Then 15 minutes pass and you're like, shoot, I really got to go.
Well, you know what the problem is? It's kind of like when we were going to the airport. We flew to Dallas, and actually before, on the way to Dallas and on the way back, we were very early. And
it was so nice.
I'll be honest.
So nice.
As someone who's always timing it perfectly so I don't sit and wait at the airport, it felt a little weird. I felt like, okay, now what am I supposed to do?
You guys, there was no stress.
That is something good, because there's nothing worse than stressing on the way to an airplane. And he
stresses. You get very agitated.
I do, I do drive a bit different. It's not good.
No, I think it was great. We were there. We got to eat, chill, sit, and talk. It was perfect. And he mentioned many times once we got, he's like, I don't know what to do. We're so early. You guys, we were like an hour and a half early. That's not that early to an airport. This just feels so weird to me. But I was like, doesn't it feel good? Like there's no stress. We're just chilling.
Chris Nell with a super chat. And Chris Nell is a super member as well.
Chris Nell.
Thank you so much, Chris Nell. Chris Nell says, what do you think has a stronger meaning? I love you or I adore you? And kind of a nosy question. Are you still going to Nashville next week? Love you both.
We love you too.
We love you too, Chris Nell. So let's answer the first one first. Which one? And I want to know what you guys think.
I've thought about this. And did you tell them about the conversation we had?
I don't know
how it was named. And that's a sad thing. You probably don't even remember.
Okay. First, I'm asking you all to answer. What is stronger? I love you.
Okay. So
I adore
I've had
you.
this conversation.
Honey, I didn't even get to finish the question. You were just wanting to jump in and
you already read it.
Okay. Go ahead.
We've had this conversation. Okay. I feel like I want my daughter's husbands to adore them. When someone adores you, they just treat you so gentle and kind and with love.
Okay. You know what I like about what you just said? You didn't put it on yourself. You went to your daughters and your daughter. And I think that was a smart thing to do because you were able to see it from a different perspective and a different longevity, which makes it clear. Just like the Joe Rogan and the attire. By the way, his book, not Joe Rogan, the Outlive book that we were listening to was at Costco. I almost got it for you.
You should have.
It looked a little technical. I didn't think you would want to read it.
Well, you can't judge that. I could have always taken it back.
Anyways, we listened to a portion of a recent Joe Rogan, and the guest, his last name was Tira. I don't know his first name, but he made a great point. He said, whenever you're so frustrated and angry with your kid, he got advice from a friend that whenever that happens, to imagine himself being 80 years old in the deathbed or in the hospital, and he only has that one moment to go back in time and be with his child. How would you handle it then? And the amount of compassion, I think even intelligence that you would approach the situation with, and the guidance would come from a different place.
That would all just be love.
It would come from a different place and likely be more profound. The message would be received more. And it would just be a more beautiful way of handling stressful situations. So anyways, again, the reason why I brought that up, because it's seeing things from a long distance. And I always think that's kind of a cheat code to get to answers like these.
Like when we were talking about the title of the song,
Yeah.
I adore you. That was what I told you, that I feel like I adore you so much stronger. It has so much, because you could look, we say I love you a lot, but when you adore someone, it's just a different meaning. It really is.
I think it's I adore you too. I probably wouldn't have said that before my song came out, but I've learned that, and I think it's because we love so many different things. We use the word almost daily. We could say we love to work out. I love Chipotle. I love.
We don't say I adore to work out.
You say I love wine. No, but when it comes to adore, it's usually
a stronger meaning.
For one person. You don't usually adore things. I guess you can, but usually that word and that meaning is reserved for an important person. And like you said, Franny, I think the clincher for me is how you said, if my daughter, married some man and he said, I adore your daughter, that's pretty strong. That's a little bit stronger, I think, than saying I love your daughter.
Because he's looking at her through just like, just different eyes. He adores her. You can tell when someone adores their spouse or partner.
As Sarah says, it's more than intention and consideration behind the words. So there you go. I think everyone said I adore you too, right? Yeah. Pretty much. Okay. I'm sure a couple people may have said I love you, but definitely I adore you was the winner. As for when I'm going to Nashville, that is correct, Krista. I go next week, and I haven't mentioned it yet, but on Saturday, I think it's the 22nd. It is. Will be another in the studio session. So again, if you haven't subscribed to my newsletter, go there. That is probably going to be the first or second place I will make the announcement. First will probably be my Instagram members. They've kind of taken that pole position for information when it comes to me and my career. But yes, it's going to be a fun time in Nashville. I'm getting done a lot of music. I will be going live also on my Instagram for my members. That's been a fun thing to do, is show you guys a bit about the inside of how I create my music and what I like to do. And whether that's hiking or, riding, we did, or just chilling in the hotel. I've been live a couple times on the last trip, and I'll go live again. Again, this is for my Instagram members. So we need to put that link. I think you can just go to Instagram and become a member if you want to do that. And then we have another super chat. Thank you so much, Caleb. Thank you,
Caleb.
Caleb says, hey, TJ and Francis, how are you today? I just wanted to let you know that my 24/7 video did extremely well on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. I want to thank the TJ Jackson community. P.S. The Caleb holograms were awesome.
Oh, love that's cool. We love you too,
Caleb. I love hearing that.
That's cool.
And here's the thing: keep working, keep creating, and keep just being you. There's nothing like creating art and doing things. If anyone gives you any hard time, whether it's before you do it or after you do it, just, I hate to say this, but ignore it. You got to be you and do what makes your heart feel good. So keep doing your thing. And I always enjoy it. So you're bringing a lot of joy to me when you do these videos. So that's what I want to say to you, man. Let's see. Francis, will you read Mariah's comment?
Sure. At the Family Rules, I feel the same thing. Back in the 90s, we used to say folks went postal. That is true. I remember that. Because this type of incident were at post offices. Yeah, that's true. School shooting started in the 90s. Was that the first one? Was that the Columbine? Or that one was like...
Columbine was the first, I think, kind of mainstream one. I think that was a time when the internet was starting to take off. And, so the word was spreading. And I know I can assume there were other shootings prior to that. But Columbine was the first one, I think, that became like national news and a whole debate on gun laws and things like that. To me, it's only gotten worse. They're becoming, well, I know statistically they have. As I think I posted this somewhere, but the chances of a kid 1 through 19 dying, it was always a car accident. That was the number one cause of death for kids 1 through 19. And now today it's become guns. And, that's just not mass shootings. That's also sadly suicides or kids playing with guns the incorrect way. Things like that also happen. But regardless, I just think we do need to, I have an opinion on guns. I'm not the craziest fan of them. But at the very least, one thing I think all of us Americans want is more safety for our kids. And I think we all got to figure a way to make that happen at the very least. We have a new member, by the way. Caleb became a new member.
Welcome, Caleb.
Welcome, Caleb. So, Caleb, stay on me because May 1st, like I said, I'm going daily. To all of May, I'm going daily with something. I'll mention what it is probably on that first. I'm not going to try to talk about it before. Just on May 1st, you're going to just watch the video, and then it's going to be a daily thing. Let's see what else we have. Will you read this one from Sarah Francis?
Sarah Marty says, I saw your vlog on Ancestry DNA and it motivated me to order a kit too. Found out this week I'm more Spanish or Spaniard and Portuguese than Puerto Rican. Who knew? Did your results surprise y'all too? Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. For me, I think you already knew, but I found out that I'm like 34% Spaniard / Portuguese. Had no idea. And a lot of British and Irish, which makes sense.
Yeah, we definitely didn't expect that to happen. But I didn't know much, as sadly or as shocking as that may be for you guys. I didn't know much about my ancestry and DNA. I just knew that, my father's side would be Black and my mom's side, at least half of it, would be Dominican. So to get the details, the Nigerian aspect and stuff like that was really cool. There is another company that I got test kits for that I just remembered that we are supposed to vlog and do just to kind of compare to see if they're accurate and to see if you can get different results. So we'll see how that goes as well. Do you know where those are, by the way?
I don't, but we'll find them.
Ooh, hi. Last week you asked how to pronounce my username, Franny. Franny was right.
Like this melanin.
Ooh. Yeah. Melanin. Okay.
I like that.
So, Franny, can you remember that? Because I'll forget. Yeah. So whenever
you got me jacked up sometimes when you say the name.
I think the fact that she says like the skin stone.
Stone.
Skin. Well,
skin
right.
stone.
I was about to say, what is a skin stone? But like the skin tone, you have you'll remember that, and always remember melanin.
I think so.
Because I won't.
I always say it like that in my mind.
Now, how do you say this one? This is a Twitch viewer. Monasim?
That's what I would say.
Or Monsim?
I would say Monasim.
Monasim. Monasim says, hello, TJ and Franny J. Sending love from Toronto, Canada. Still a place that, obviously my kids want to go to. And I've been a couple of times. Franny, have you been?
Not Toronto, no.
Where have you been in Canada?
Vancouver.
That's it?
Yeah.
I got to take you to Toronto. I love
I don't want to go when it's freezing, though, because I heard it gets cold.
Yeah, not.
Nah, I'm good. Take me in the spring. We did Vancouver in the spring. It was beautiful.
Dana wants to know, how do we come up with our children's names?
Oof. I think I'd let you do most of that. Because anytime I had a suggestion, this guy was like, I don't like that. Because I wanted a real Spanish name for one of my girls, which I guess Dolores is, but I never really liked that name because of there was a girl in high school that.
What did she do to you?
Oh, it was bad.
She used to bully you?
It was just really
She used to pick on you?
No, we got into a physical fight.
You want to describe what happened?
No, I don't. She messed with my mama, and that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
So anyway,
She say something about your mom, or she messed with your mom?
It was just a very inappropriate situation.
Okay.
I really wanted. Was it Esperanza for Joe?
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted Esperanza because it means hope.
You know why? For me, it's not that I didn't like those names. I just felt like I'm very sensitive to names that are hard to pronounce. And it's strictly because of tarot. Because I saw, and I don't think you should care as much, to
You
be
shouldn't.
honest, but
I mean, my name's Francis. Come on.
no one's ever going to say Francis or Francis or France.
Some people say Francine.
But that's a completely different spelling. So your name is very easy to pronounce. And again, my name's TJ, so mine's very easy as well.
Tito.
And I shouldn't care, and I don't care because I've never had experience it. But tarot, what are they eating a tree? Anyways, tarot, I could sense sometimes that it would frustrate him.
Tyrell. A lot of people say
Tyrell. And then it's just also the spelling. So I didn't want our kids to have to go through the frustrations of getting their names pronounced incorrectly or getting the wrong spelling. So one thing we haven't done on this live is to remind people, if they're liking the live, to like it, subscribe, and hit the bell. We have a couple more things, Franny, and then we're gonna actually it's only been 45 minutes. Why do I think it's been an hour? Yes, honey?
Yeah.
You're tapping me.
It's true, because you don't have the other show today.
I do.
You do?
Yeah, it's at 1.
Yeah. Okay. I have to go before 1 though, honey.
Okay. Do you want to answer this? I'll read it. Lovely Wallflower says, "Hey TJ and Francis, do you think a woman smacking her husband on the butt is the same as her husband smacking her butt, or is it different?"
I think it's the same. It's like flirty, fun.
Yeah.
I feel like when a man does it though, it's like, it's
There's a little more gumph.
Umph.
What's gumph?
I don't know what gumph is. Umph.
Why did I say gumph?
I don't know, TJ. You say a lot of things that I don't understand.
Seriously, why gumph with a G?
You know what? Always, because you're such a logical thinker.
I gotta figure that out. Why would I say gumph?
Okay. Have you guys heard of the term give them an inch and they take a mile?
No.
TJ.
No, that drives me crazy.
TJ's like, Francis, that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
You don't go from inch to a mile.
You don't.
You go from an inch to a foot. Or I'm like, that's so, babe, you got to be open-minded.
First of all.
Have you guys heard of give them an inch, they take a mile?
No, give them an inch, they take a foot.
No, TJ, because that's how exaggerated it is. That's how you give them a little and they're taking a ginormous amount.
It's an inch to a foot is the same.
No, it's not, honey. No, it's not.
Inch to a yard? Give them an inch and they take a yard.
You give them an inch and they take a mile, which is it's an over exaggeration of someone just taking advantage of the situation.
Yeah, but that's a little different. An inch to a foot is, to me, a proper exaggerated.
We say you give them one finger and they take the whole hand. I've heard of that too. Chica has said that.
I've never heard that one, but that makes sense.
I've heard of that one.
That's like saying you give them one finger and they take the whole foot.
Has anyone heard of give them an inch, they take a mile? Anyone?
Yeah, I want to know is it an inch?
Has anyone heard of that?
It's an inch to a foot, I swear.
Because that's what we used to say. Franny is right again. Golly.
Are we sure? Okay, that's one person.
You guys, he did not. He's like, Francis, I'm sorry. We're going to have to take a vote on this. Nobody's heard of that.
Wait.
You did not believe it.
All right, Teresa, that's the second. Listen, is it give them a foot and they take a mile?
No.
Oh, goodness. And Chris, I'm going to tell you right now, you're like the word. So if you say it, I'm taking it. You knew ampersand. So I guess I am wrong. And Janet agrees. Okay. It doesn't make sense to me. I think that's a little too drastic. I understand the point is to show an exaggerated amount, but that's like ridiculous. It should be to give them an inch, they take a foot. That's so weird. That's not weird. There's 12 inches in a foot. That's an exaggerated amount. They're not taking much. If I give someone one of something and they end up taking 12 of them, that's a decent amount they actually ended up taking. Nope. A mile is like thousands. I've never heard. Wait, a mile? Oh, let's see what L says. Yes. That would be like 70,000 inches. My mom says both ways, yard and mile. I've never heard of a yard. Give an inch, they take a yard. I've never heard of yard. It makes sense. Never heard a mile either. Give an inch, they take a mile. Babe, it's that's all right. Franny's right again. Sabrina, it makes sense though. It makes sense. The mile's too much. Okay, a mile's what? 5,260 feet.
Okay, next
No, we're gonna
question.
learn. This is about learning too.
Oh my, TJ, it's not about being logical, honey.
How
It's
many
just about
feet
being, it's an
in
exaggeration.
a mile? How many feet are in a mile? Do you know?
Oh boy.
5,280. Okay, so if we do 5,280, 280 times 12, that's 63,360 inches. So we went from 1 inch to 63,360 inches. Don't you think that's a bit exaggerating? Like just a bit?
It does the exact thing it's supposed to do.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you, Janet. It is. It's just an
Um,
old-fashioned saying.
Domine says, "Hey TJ and Franny, will there be no more Last Night or Insomnia t-shirt models? I haven't seen them in the merchandise store for a long time. Besos." They should be there. They're not there, Toria? Huh, I don't know. I thought they would be there. Maybe they're not there. You know what? I'm gonna
She
say
is so
I did
annoying.
want things to I guess some
Coda.
series are gone. So that was something I actually wanted. I didn't want all the series to live forever. So those I guess are no longer there. But I'm not so sure I like that idea now. I don't know why. So I don't know, Domine. I don't know. Maybe at some point they will come back, but for now they are gone. And I think the reason is because I didn't want too many series to be out there. I didn't want there to be too much stuff to choose from. So I wanted to slowly eliminate some of the older ones, and I probably will eliminate a couple more. So yeah, I guess they're not there. So I apologize. And Toria just confirmed for me that some of the series are gone. So there you go. And Vicky says, TJ, you're not getting rid of your merch, are you? No, not getting rid of it. No. No. Let's see. This is something from 2K Demics who says, do you feel like your kids aren't religious enough? Church youth groups with your kids would be highly beneficial as they can learn to form their own beliefs and discuss spirituality with others. I think this is very, very important. I think this is something that too often a lot of people ignore. We could probably be even better when it comes to our kids and being more religious and church groups and stuff like that. I think it's important. I really do. I think that it's spiritual health is an incredibly important health that gets neglected. And I think when times are hard and things don't go your way in a very severe way, it's your spiritual health that can help you get through situations.
I agree with that. But I think it's harder for a lot of people nowadays because in some instances and cases, church has become a business.
Right.
So I feel like you could also do it at home, try to implement, even if it's a Bible study at home or something like that. I feel like we could get much better with that. And I do want to start trying to do that.
And also,
and then let the kids just decide what they want.
And then there's also movies. There's some pretty good movies that you can watch as a family, that are spiritual movies. So there are definitely, but I do think spiritual health is something that is always neglected, sadly. This is a good question. Michael Jackson fan says, TJ and Franny, what do you guys think about couples who have a huge age gap? Do you think it's okay or you think it's not okay?
My personal opinion of that is each to their own. Do what makes you happy and don't care about anyone judging. Now, when complications arise, and they usually do, I'm not saying all the time, but they usually do, you have to understand these are two completely different generations.
What's considered a huge age gap?
I would say 20 years.
Really? 60 and 40s?
Not so much. I think more like 50 and 20 or 50, even 50 and 30 is not so bad to me.
So 50 and 25 is, right?
Yeah, so maybe anything over like 25 years. I think that's big age gap.
Okay, but your answer is
If
to
it,
each their own. If
yeah, if it makes you happy.
okay. Do you think there needs to be an extra discussion about certain things when you have that kind of an age
Well,
gap?
that doesn't. It would help. It's
Uh,
the same thing as if you're different religions and you're going to get married, and that's a huge. You need to have that discussion. How do you want to raise your kids? What religion are you going to choose? Those are important things because they do come along, and then when they hit you in the face, you're like, we should have probably talked about this before.
What's the discussion you have with a 25 to 30-year age gap? What's the discussion?
I just think it depends on the person. I don't know because some people are just fine like that.
Mm.
But I do feel like they're going to have different beliefs.
Mm.
But I feel like as long as the core is similar, I feel like it's going to go much smoother.
Okay. There you go.
But I feel like each to their own. If that's what makes them happy, doesn't bother me. Now, if it was one of our daughters, I mean, I would probably have a discussion.
Yeah,
I would have a generational, like you're from this era, he's from that era. This is what, You got to think about those things, but they never listen anyway. So
they tend to not. That was a good question though. MJ
they tend to like do what they want to do and then learn the hard way, that's life.
That was a very good question. And yeah, I see you have another one that I may be selecting. Blue Rose Top, who is a member. Nice to see you, Blue Rose Top. Says, have you guys heard what's happening in France? Paris is full of trash burning. Literally. Yikes. I have been keeping a distant eye on it. I know there's issues going on, and I think and I don't want to seem completely out of step or unknowledgeable in the situation, but from what I understand, the French government is trying to extend the retirement age a couple of more years, I think it is. And
isn't it more than a couple more years?
Toria's going to type and tell us what it is. So the French, they're trying to extend it to 64. From what though? What's retirement age right now? So let's see. It's 62. Yeah. So a couple more. So they're and here's the problem. We don't know anything because we're not in the news. We don't know what's going on in French government. America tends to only focus on American issues. So we have no idea. And I only know this because I have French friends and French fans that inform me of what's going on. The problem is, I bet they
changed it before too, like recently.
Oh, so they keep going higher and higher. Right. It was 60, now it's 62, and now it's 64. And the problem is, like a lot of people arguments about getting government involved, the money doesn't go, it's not effectively used. So if money's just going into politicians' pockets or into silly things or to pay for programs or companies that aren't as effective and don't do it as well, or they hike up prices, and they're going to need the people to do more work and to pay for that could be a little annoying and frustrating. So I don't know the answer. I am just some American bloke in Southern California. I didn't think I'd use the word bloke. And here's the thing on the word bloke. Is that only used in the UK?
Sounds like it is.
You never heard that before.
I've heard of that word.
You have?
Yeah.
What is it, negative?
Yeah.
Oh, it is? No, it's not. It's just a man.
It doesn't sound
like bloke negative?
Maybe if there's a curse word in front of it.
To our British viewers, is bloke isn't negative. I think it's just like dude. I think it's like dude.
Okay.
But we'll find that out. Anyways, I don't know the answer. So all I can do is hope the city doesn't self-destruct. It's one of my favorite beautiful cities.
Bloke and mate. Same thing.
Okay. I just hope it doesn't, like I said, self-destruct. It's one of my favorite cities in the world. And Francis has really grown to love Paris. Right, honey?
I have.
Yeah. So I hope it figures itself out.
I'm sad that I get it though, but we had fun on those scooters and I heard that they were just banned.
They were.
But we had a lot of fun.
No more scootering in Paris.
And I did tell TJ, he was a little you weren't as safe as you should have been.
Rit? Why?
Because you were crossing the lanes. Your wife is behind you. It is your job to protect your wife.
But I told you to stay close.
No.
So if you're close
I'm
to
not
me,
going to go nearly as fast as you do.
I wasn't going too fast.
You go fast and you're just cutting across. And I don't think that I was like, okay, Francis, you got to do your own thing because TJ's a little too comfortable on these things.
But babe, sometimes I think you're.
I'm very cautious.
Makes you hesitate.
I got to get home to my kids.
All right. That's really sad that they banned that.
It was fun though.
That's a lot of fun.
But we can do the bikes. We did the bikes too.
I think they banned those too.
Did they ban the bikes? No, I just heard it was the scooters.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's just the scooters, that's better. We have another super chat from Caleb.
Hey, Caleb.
Caleb says, "Hey, TJ, I'll be turning 21 next month on May 25. P.S. I'm putting my poems together into a book, working on the title with my mom. Love you very much." Caleb, that's cool. That's one of my favorite comments of the day, Caleb. It's not just the fact that you're turning 21 next month. That's an amazing time of your life. Enjoy it. But it's the fact that you're doing something such as putting
with his mom.
And then with your mom. That's like
so sweet.
Triple incredible. Love that. I don't hear many 21-year-old proudly say they're doing a project with their mom. And I think that's a beautiful thing, man.
That's really cool.
Don't ever let anyone tell you that's not a beautiful thing. That is cooler than cool. It really is. So you take care of your mom. You keep doing your poems, putting in the book, and let me know when it's for sale because I want to buy one.
And 21's big, Caleb. What are you going to do?
Enjoy those days, man. It's highlights. So enjoy it.
Yeah, let's go to Sequoia. Go ahead.
Well, okay, first we got to go to Mr. Learned, who says you're on Twitch. That is correct. I am on Twitch. Okay, Sabrina says only banned because it's motorized without a license plate. What is that? What about the bikes? Because that's motorized too.
Sorry, I'm just responding to Lexi.
I'm curious because I do enjoy using those things. It's so freeing to go to Paris and be on those scooters and bikes. Okay, now let's go to the one and only Sequoia, who says, "OMG, Tito Joe." Yes. That sounds like I'm in trouble. OMG, Tito Joe. It takes a mile. Meaning making small concessions to someone will allow that person to take advantage of you in a much larger way. I get it. But to me,
you don't get
the much larger way is 12x.
Don't say you get it.
63,360 times more.
You got it.
It's a little drastic.
No.
Thanks for the super
You're
chat,
right, Sequoia. Thank you for that. I like that breakdown.
I think Franny, okay, we'll have one more. We'll do one more comment. Fatma says, "I'm late, so sorry, I had to study. Happy to be here and love you guys."
Fatma, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, and we love you too. Get in them books.
Bikes are still here in Netherlands. I think it's just France right now where it's banned, but I'm curious to know if bikes
again. I think it was just the scooters though, the e-scooters.
By the way, Sophie says you're wearing a Cubs hat, TJ. This is actually Cincinnati Reds, I believe. I know, I was risky. I know. It doesn't say, but I think this is the Reds logo. I don't know. It does kind of look like Cubs. If you got me 10 years ago, I would definitely know. I just haven't been watching baseball like I should. There was one more thing. Oh, MJ Fan says, TJ and Franny, is there any books that are banned from schools that you think shouldn't be banned from schools? I'll be perfectly honest with you, Michael Jackson fan. I know about this big banning of books. I haven't been following along, and one of the main reasons why is because I like to give my kids their books to read. So any books that are banned in school, it's not going to change from me on determining what I give to them. I don't know which books again, so I can't really open up. But if it's any that are inclusive or talk about other people's struggles, I don't think those should be banned. I really don't. I understand some arguments saying certain things shouldn't be pushed on kids, and that school should be a place to learn. I can understand that. But in terms of books, and look, I had to read books on things I did not want to learn about um, people that I thought were very well represented. And still, those books are usually the more common books. So, are we going to ban all books? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Again,
know.
I don't really follow along on
I
which
think
books are
as
banned.
parents, we just got to be the ones to be sure that they're being educated, on what we want them to learn as well.
Yeah. And for me, as a Cincinnati Reds on TJ's tab. It's funny how much I was into baseball.
Is our internet bad?
No. Oh, it is. Yeah, it's all good, Sophie. Don't worry about it. Last question. We'll do this one last, and then we'll go. Dee's Tiny Kitchen wants to know, how tall are we?
Love you. And we love you too, Dee.
Love you. Oh, I missed that. I'm sorry.
Okay. So I always thought I was 5'4". And then I think I was pregnant with Dee Dee and was measured. And she was like, "You're 5'5". I was like, "Are you sure?" Because I've always, and maybe I just never, maybe I grew a bit. I don't know. But she told me, she confirmed 5'5".
You're 5'5"?
That's what she said.
Who said this?
I need to re-measure myself. I've probably shrunk since then. That was 15 years ago.
I am 5'11" and a half.
I like to say 6 feet.
I like to say 6 feet too.
Good.
I'm 6 feet tall.
There you go.
Look, if I continue on yoga and try to do it daily, I think I will be 6 feet by the end of the year. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Okay, I want to just touch on this real quick. To Kill a Mockingbird is banned. So is Dr. Seuss books. I can't. I think
I heard about the controversy with Dr. Seuss.
Well, I've heard of it too, but it kind of already left my.
Yeah.
I think when people pass, I don't even, this isn't just about Dr. Seuss, but I think we have to be careful of not trying to rewrite the person they were and misinterpreting things that were said or done, or, I think we have to give people the ability to explain themselves. And sometimes, we don't do that. So I don't think Dr. Seuss books should be banned. I don't even know what he did or is it being accused of doing. I still don't think they should be banned. They brought a lot of joy, the books did, to people's lives. So why is that? We should be caring more about what was left behind and what that does to us.
Yeah.
And people love Dr. Seuss and the Grinch and all that good stuff. So I don't like that being banned. And To Kill a Mockingbird was actually the one book.
What was the story behind it before you say?
Why don't you look it up?
Know.
Look it up. I don't know. Well, yeah, Dr. Seuss controversy.
Because I feel like if it's anything to do with kids, I get that. That's where people are,
Okay, so are you looking up Dr. Seuss controversy?
Yeah.
Okay, so while she's doing that, I'll talk about To Kill a Mockingbird. That was actually, not only is it a great movie, but that was actually the one book I really liked. So that's very unfortunate to me that it was banned. Hopefully, people will still read it. I don't know where it was banned. I don't know. I don't agree with that.
Well, I don't know if this is correct.
They said he was racist and he was a bad person generally to his wife, for Dr. Seuss.
Well, this one says they portray people in ways that are hurtful and wrong.
Dr. Seuss? Really?
And to think that I saw it. Yeah.
I think sometimes we can reach for things. I don't know. But was he accused of being... I don't know. I don't really care if what he did creatively, whether it's with the movies or books, is bringing a lot of joy to my kids. I don't really care.
If I ran the zoo,
I don't appreciate him being racist if he was really racist, but I think that's something that should have been discussed when he was alive, not now.
I agree. I mean, I grew up on those books. I don't know.
If you have good memories of the books, let's try to keep those memories. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you right now, because the only people at this point, it was the new versions of Dr. Seuss.
I don't know.
Okay, I think that's it, right?
I think so. Okay. I was looking at others. Oh, Looking at all you
By the-
guys'
By the way,
heights.
Lisa Hot Street says I'm 50. I'm 5'6". I'm 56. I'm 5'6", and we were about the same height, Franny J.
I'd love to be 5'6".
Well, you may be.
When the weight comes on, it's more places for it to go.
That's true too.
That's the way I like to see it.
That's true too. All right.
And it came on in Texas, you guys. We're gonna restart. That food was good.
As FK says, books should be read, not banned. I like that. I don't know. I just if they're let's read if it's bringing us joy, what's the problem with that? And talking about books, Rosie says, TJ and Friends says, are you ever going to write a book? If so, the title will be called The Family Rules. Love you both. That would be good.
Love you too. Yeah, I mean, you still been working on it, but that's not it. Are you doing a parenting book or an inspirational book? Who's that?
Someone's at the front door.
It looks like they're waiting on us.
They sure are.
Answer
Okay.
it too.
And then Terry says some books can be banned, but not guns.
Oh,
That's
it's
a valid
probably
point. All right. What's wrong, Franny J?
it's probably the pest control.
Okay. We're gonna go. We love
Bye,
you guys.
guys.
Franny, you gonna go get the door?
Yep. Get
Okay,
in the door.
I will close
Adios.
this. Franny says bye. I love you guys. We love you guys. You guys, please be safe. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you soon on DDJF. Adios, everyone.